Returning now to the issue of women praying at the Western Wall, and joining me here in the studio to discuss today's events is the founder of the Women of the Wall movement, author and activist, Dr. Bonna Devora Haberman. Good evening, Dr. Haberman. Thanks for coming in.
A pleasure to be here today.
Well, let's start with the proposal from Jewish Agency Chairman Natan Sharansky. How is your group responding to this?
Well, first of all, we're delighted at the attention and the investment that such an honorable person as Natan Sharansky has invested in order to make a proposal to solve a very touchy and difficult situation. And I must say that the process among us is a very precious and difficult one. We have many voices, and we're comprised of people from Orthodoxy, Conservative, Judaism, Reform, Reconstructionist, Renewal, and our response will be carefully mediated and interpreted together.
You don't want to give us a glimpse about how you're receiving this?
At the same time, I'd like to give you some suggestions about how we feel.
Go ahead.
And in particular reference to some of the issues that this proposal raises. First of all, it's very important to say that the purpose of Women of the Wall is to enable women to express our full religious conscience in the presence of the public of the Jewish people. And the sacred place that we determine together as a people in the homecoming to Israel is that the Kotel, the Western Wall, where it now stands, is that place. And as women who have very determined spiritual lives and practices, we feel that that is the place for our practice to be. And being in a separate place, which is different and not together with the women of Israel who come to the Kotel, is a very challenging and difficult proposal for us.
But Dr. Haberman, how do you respond to people who accuse the Women of the Wall of being provocateurs or flouting Supreme Court rulings?
First of all, I have to assert very clearly that Women of the Wall initiated the Supreme Court process, and we are law-abiding citizens who actually contribute towards the fulfillment of the Declaration of Israeli Independence, which guarantees the freedom of religious conscience and freedom from discrimination on the basis of gender. And so we see ourselves fulfilling and enabling law and democracy to function fully and well.
Now, of course, tomorrow morning marks the Rosh Chodesh, beginning of the month service, and the Women of the Wall are expected to be in attendance. What kind of a reception are you expecting from the ultra-Orthodox men who gather at that site?
Unfortunately, the response of the ultra-Orthodox men who gather at the site is determined very much by the attitude of the state and the police officials who are present. Last month, and really for the last 10 years, there have been very few active interruptions of our prayer. As long as the police are careful and determined to ensure a safe and fulfilling tefillah, prayer, then we have a wonderful, joyous, expressive event. Unfortunately, the official who's responsible for the wall, Rabbi Rabinovich, has encouraged the police to arrest and press criminal charges against those of us who he interprets are offending the Supreme Court judgment. Now, in our opinion, this is a perversion of the Supreme Court judgment, and I do want to quote from Justice Shlomo Levine, who in an Supreme Court verdict stated that he wanted to uphold the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women by encouraging the state to respect religious sensitivities on all sides and to ensure fair, balanced practice and educate the respective constituencies about the rule of law in democratic society. And we look forward to the police and to all officials encouraging ultra-Orthodox and other people with sensitivities at the site to respect our privilege to prayer, as we do every person who comes respectfully to pray with us.
We're almost out of time, but I'd like to ask you, if this proposal is accepted by your organization, does it render Women of the Wall obsolete?
Actually, it renders Women of the Wall even more important because it gives us the opportunity to invite every Jewish woman to take a full and dynamic place to celebrate joyously in a public of Jewish women at the Western Wall, where we will really make it possible for the homecoming of the Jewish people to a place that is pluralist and welcoming and accepting, rather than narrow and exclusive of women and our practice.
Dr. Bonna Devora Haberman, thank you so much for being our guest. Good luck with your initiative.
Thank you very much.